backwards. I'm making this before the new year. Oh, my bad, y'all. My hair. I just want to say first, I started cutting my own hair, and I'm still really new. So, we get this. My bad, y'all. I normally come on here with my hat, but my hat's washing. So, but anyway, y'all. This video is really going to be like ending off 2025 and what I learned and what I hope for my future, like the 2026, what my goals are. Like, I don't know why, but it's like everybody making videos about 2026 and how they want the new year to go. Like, I don't know. I feel like this new year is really going to be like a good year for me. If y'all don't know, my life has been very hard since the end of 2019. Like, I feel like my life, because when you have like, I'm gonna just say, when you have parents who are like not the best, your parents kind of like control your whole life. So if you don't have good parents, then, you're not really, like, my life wasn't bad as a kid, but, it just wasn't the best. Like, it wasn't as good. Like, I couldn't really go out with friends. I used to get into it a lot with my parents. So, you know, like, life can only be so good, but like, I had friends sometimes and stuff, and like sometimes like I would get good food, or I had my games, or I would watch TV. So, like things wasn't too bad. Like I just wasn't bored. I feel like that's the most important thing for me. But no, ever since like that end of 2019, it's just like I was attracting toxic situations after toxic situations. I don't know if y'all know, but this, like a year, I think it was like a year ago, I got this thing called acid reflux. And I just started taking it serious like this year. It's going down though, it's healing. But, it's like I can only eat like 11 or 12 different kinds of food. I can't drink any juice. I can't eat any salt. So, like ever since the end of 2019, I'm just telling y'all basically like it's been a lot of challenges. It's been like a lot of times where I had to be strong. It's been like a lot of times where I kind of just, I don't want to, like, I want to be honest, but I'm not that comfortable yet. But, I just was in a dark place, and I just felt like, like it got to this one point where, I was so much in a dark place, I didn't even really feel like being alive. Like, I didn't even feel like I was alive. Like, I would wake up. Like, I remember it was this one point I was so deep in my depression like phase. It's like I would be waking up every day just feeling empty. Like, just imagine that, like, you're not feeling no joy in your life, happiness. Like, you just feel nothing. Like, that was a very hard time for me, and I'm just grateful that I got through it, because, that's not easy. And I never even talked about that on here, but like these past few years have been a lot, like I almost didn't make it through, like I remember one of the years I was having, just thinking about ending it. That's the only time, because I've never been a super depressed person, even with, all the things that I went through, like I wouldn't like say I was like I just like in the past, like when I was in high school, I just be like, let me ignore it, or let me not focus on it. Let me play the game. Let me work out. Let me eat. But, I feel like when 2019 came, like the end of 2019 came, I had no choice but to, like, really face it and deal with it, because the emotions and feelings were so strong. Like, I didn't like doing nothing. Like, it's like I was just doing stuff, but I was like, I ain't really, you know what I mean? Hold on, I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be back. Just doing stuff. It's just like I didn't really, feel any, like I could be playing a game or playing a game or just talking to people. I didn't feel any excitement, any joy, or any connection to it. I didn't feel a connection to people. Like, these last 4 or 5 years have been very real. And when I mean real, I mean tough. Like, with this acid reflux diet, because, it's like you got to be really careful, because it's like you're really healing your gut, and it's like, and what I didn't know is, because that's a whole nother story. I might talk about it, like my journey with acid reflux, but basically, like, if you don't know, the gut is very sensitive. Like, when it's in the like phase of healing, it's like you eat like too much fat, you make your body work. Too much protein, your body gotta work. You know, too much sugar, your body gotta work. You know, or just certain fruits that can be acidic. So every day I either eat like quinoa, sweet potatoes, spinach, and applesauce, puffed millet, or bananas. Not bananas every day, but either that or beets, or the other days when I take a break from quinoa, either spelt flour, oat flour, and just everything I named, but either beets or bananas, and that's like every day. And I lost a lot of weight. Um, so these past 5 years have been real, definitely very testing. And, it's been tough, but, I'm just like, hopefully 2026 is like, 2026, I really have a good feeling about it. I have a feeling that like things are gonna like things are gonna get better. I'm gonna attract better people, and like all I really want for 2026. Like I don't want to like talk too much about it because I don't want to like jinx anything, but definitely healing, like just better gut health in general. I feel like my gut's probably always been sensitive, or like I've always had like a sensitive gut because like I don't want to get nasty, but I remember in elementary school or just high school or middle school, I would like I don't want to like I don't know how to say it, but like I used to like I used to be like passing gas, and it would be like almost all day, like it would be like all day sometimes just passing gas, and of course like it would smell like it would smell really bad. So I feel like my gut health probably like I feel like I just always had a sensitive stomach. Like when I was younger, of course like I was a black, I grew up, I don't know if y'all could tell, but I grew up, with other black people. I grew up like not in the hood, but I didn't grow up in the suburbs, but basically where I grew up at, like, they wasn't teaching healthy eating, and like healthy eating, that wasn't a thing. So I was eating a lot of red meat, a lot of sugars, a lot of fried foods, a lot of fried foods, a lot of ice cream, just a lot of unhealthy stuff. Like, of course, I wasn't just eating straight junk food, but, most of the time, or just, cheesy snacks like dairy, your body, the, yeah, that's one of the worst foods. Like, not worst foods, but that's one of, like, the hardest, like, things your body has to digest, like, especially the cheeses and stuff, because cheese is a lot of fat, so your body can't, break down too much fat. And red meat is very hard for your stomach, your body to digest. So I was eating like a lot of stuff like that, a lot of cheeseburgers. Like I remember ninth grade, like freshman year, I would eat like I think almost every day freshman year, because my dad he didn't really cook. I mostly lived with my dad, so you know, and I guess when you working all day, like I mean, I didn't like when I was working, I didn't even cook all day, but every day, I mean, it was hard, but I did it one time, but that's another story. But so most of the time when he come back from work, he was too tired to cook, so he would just bring me back like stuff like Five Guys, McDonald's, Shake Shack, Popeyes, just all type of like unhealthy foods, and it would be late at night. And that's another thing too. Like, of course, like digestion is so important. Like, late at night, some people do it and they seem fine. But late at night, eating late at night is really bad for you. Like, you're really not supposed to do that. Like, they say the cutoff time should be like 6, but I feel like if you have to, don't eat past 8. But like anything past 8 is crazy. And this like when you're already eating food like cheeseburgers, fries, and ketchup, or like and the ketchups we have in vinegar, like that stuff, like late at night is very hard for your body to like digest and break down, especially late at night and then laying down after. So it just be stuff like that. So I think my gut health probably was always kind of not the best, like wasn't that good. And then what else? But I feel like when I turned 20, it just like caught up to me, so I had started having acid reflux a lot. But it's getting better, so that's the main thing. I just want to go back to being normal. And yeah, and then another one of my goals is like really want to find a way to make money without a job. The past few years I've been working ever since 18, and most of the jobs I worked, I either like hated, didn't like them, or it was like a lot of work. And then the last job I had, like I told y'all, I remember I was cooking before I would go to work, taking the bus to work, right? And then I would come home, or sometimes I'd be like, man, I need my rest. So I used to eat late at night, and that's bad for digestion, and my stomach's already sensitive, so you can only imagine that. So when I was at mom's working at the grocery store, it would be like a day would be like I wake up at 11 or 12, because I also was like depressed too. Sometimes I would wake up at 10 a.m. because I would try to cook for myself. So I would try to cook before work sometimes, because sometimes, I didn't feel like eating late, like waiting all the way to the end of my shift to eat, because my shift was like 8 hours. So, I would cook. The cooking used to take an hour, I think an hour maybe. Yeah, an hour. Then wash. I don't think I really had to wash dishes, because my mom said she would wash those dishes. Yeah, I didn't really have to wash dishes, so that was good. But I don't think I really had to clean up too much, because I don't think the food really made a mess. Yeah, because I was kind of like clean, making the servings, so I didn't really have to clean. But just cooking the food though, that took an hour. Then the bus, bro, taking the bus, that was like a whole hour. So then there was that. Then I would be at work for like 8 hours, dealing with customers, there's all type of stuff. So, then come back home, take a shower, brush my teeth, or if it was a night where if it was a day where I didn't cook before, cook for a whole hour, then wait 30 minutes, because you can't just hop in the shower right after you eat, because then your stomach starts hurting. I don't know why. Like, you gotta be careful with digestion. So wait 30 minutes, then brush my teeth and watch TV for a little bit, and then boom, straight to work. Like, it's like, y'all, with a job, it be feeling like as soon as you clock, you get off of work. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me, y'all. It's like as soon as you get off of work, it's like you gotta go back to work. Like, I don't know where time be going. Like, it's funny because they say, like, if you work 40 hours, they say you got like 160 hours left or something. I swear that don't feel like the case. It feels like work is like takes up your whole life, and then you got to make everything around work. Like, I don't know, like maybe I was just working bad jobs, but like they all stressed me out. Like, I remember it was this one job I was working as a with special ed kids. I think I told y'all about that job, but long story short, I remember the last assignment before I was like I left the company to work at the grocery store. I tried to get back in just because I couldn't find a job, but they ain't let me in. Maybe it was for the best, because I kept getting like switched around schools, because those kids, like those special ed kids, used to be bad, but they are special ed, so what do I expect? But this one boy, I got this one boy, and it got real. Like, I remember, I don't want to put his business out there. I'm not gonna say too much, but basically his housing situation wasn't that stable, and his mom, I'm not gonna say too much, but I seen his mom, and I'm gonna just say, like, I can tell she been through it. Like, she went through some stuff. Like, she wasn't having an easy time. So long story short, like, I remember he would be like, it was this one time, and I think this was close to like when I was like, yeah, I can't do this. He just started, like, I don't know what he started doing, but like he would just be leaving class, like he would just run out the classroom, and I would have to chase after him. And I don't know what he did, but he did something, and it had to, like, took three teachers just to hold him back, and he was banging against the locker, like y'all should have seen. He was like, like fighting, like it took really three grown adults to hold him. He was crying. I was like, y'all, excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like I started crying. I don't know why, and then I remember like he told me like we was leaving and he told me what was going on in his home. I'm not going to say it because that's just not my place to. And I was just holding, like hugging him, and he was crying. I was crying, like, whew. When you work these jobs, it's not for the weak. And, it could be like the place that I'm at, but, whew. And that's another thing too, like 2026, I really want to move somewhere else. Like I want to move to another state. I lived in Baltimore. I live in Baltimore right now. Before I used to live in PG, but Baltimore's crazy. Like I might make a video about that, like what it's like living in Baltimore. But I don't see why people move. Like the only reason I could really see moving to Baltimore is for money. But even then, it's just like that's one thing, y'all. Like sometimes you could be thinking something's cheaper or you're saving money, but you're paying for it in another way. Like you're paying for it one way or another. Like and that's what I realized this year. Like you can think something like it's almost like when you go to the like dollar store, right? And their stuff be like $1, but the quality isn't as good or the foods is more processed. It's because so sometimes it's not even like sometimes like I like of course don't move to somewhere like what's a like new like Los Angeles, like that's crazy, but sometimes it's okay to like live in an area that like costs a little bit more if you just like have more of a peace of mind or it's less crazy, y'all. Because Baltimore, like it really be like the craziest stuff happening. Like you'll just see the craziest stuff. Like I remember I was taking the bus, and I'm gonna just say this story. It just be like people on the bus, and they be crazy. Like it's like their minds are just gone. Like there was this one lady, she was like sitting on the floor that I like where you first walk into. She was just sitting in the aisle, right? Just doing nothing, right? Because the seats were full. Then a seat opened up and she pulls out like a spear or like a sharp object. I don't know. And then she starts saying like out loud, and I can't make this stuff up. She's like doing this prayer and she's like, thank you, Joel, Lord Jesus. I don't fuck with that bitch Mariah. Like just crazy random stuff. And she was like, thank you, Lord Jesus. I don't fuck with that bitch Christina. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for cutting those toxic bitches out my life. And she's saying this out loud. Like I didn't really say anything, but like in my mind, like I'm just looking at the whole time, like what, like how, like these people, like it's like a lot of like, and I don't even know what it is, but it's just like a lot of very mentally unstable people in Baltimore, or it's just like I don't know, man. It's just really weird, and I just don't like Baltimore. It's hard to make friends. It's hard to make friends. It's really dirty. I think one time, like I just be seeing condoms on the floor sometimes. Like I remember I was at the park, I seen like a condom on the floor. What else? Like what else you be seeing? Just like bones on the floor, like from wings. They're all like just litter. Like I don't know, bro. I don't like Baltimore. Like it could be because I take the bus a lot, but like I don't know. Baltimore just ain't it for me. Like I don't know, and I feel like it just got this way. Like back in the day, but I mean, maybe because I was like hanging out with my mom. I mean, not hanging out with my mom, but I was, I wasn't going out that much, and I was riding around with my mom. But Baltimore is crazy, you know. And you know, it's like a lot of almost everyone smokes. Like, I'm not trying to like talk about the people, but a lot of the people that like I don't know, it's just not a lot in Baltimore. You know, the only reason I could really say like see if someone's staying in Baltimore is if you know you have friends or family there. But other than that, I don't know. I just don't like it. You know, I like, and then almost like everyone there smokes and the lips be black. Like I don't know, y'all. Baltimore just ain't. It ain't. It ain't it. And then I think the main goal I'm really focused on is like getting a car. You know, I just feel like it's just time. You know, I'm just tired of catching the bus, like standing out in the cold for like minutes, or you know, sometimes the bus will say it's coming, but it don't come, or you know, it's just like a lot that comes with public transportation, or like you know, sometimes you'll be on a bus and it'll just be like dumb stuff. It's like the windows will be broke. So you know what that means. So if it's a winter day and it's cold outside, the windows are open. Like I had it where it'll be some buses and it's just like four windows open at a time because the windows are broken. So, you know, it'll be cold. Like I said, a lot of crazy people, right? Like I remember I was on the bus or like I think this happened yesterday and I'm just sitting by myself and this guy comes up and he was like, he comes, daps me up and I just dap him up to be nice. And, you know, he just starts talking to me and, you know, I talked to him back and he was like, so are you bi? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, have you ever, and then he was like, right first, I want to know your name. And I was like, wait, I'm going to end the conversation right here. Like, so, you know, it's just like a lot of like weirdness with taking the bus. And I got robbed coming off one of those buses, coming off the buses. So maybe it's just Baltimore though. Like maybe Baltimore is just crazy, but I don't know. You know, I still would rather just have a car and just drive around, like go as I please and leave as I please. Like I don't gotta wait, you know, minutes, like 30 to 45 minutes for a bus, especially on weekends. Don't let it be a weekend. The buses are slow. Like they like a buses be coming 30 minutes to an hour. Then if you want to leave, like the bus don't come, you gotta wait another hour. Like taking a bus, man, that's whew. So yeah, that's another one of my goals to get my car, to get a car. I really could get a car, but I'm just trying to figure out car insurance because I don't got my full license yet. I got like a provisionals. So, you know, if I try to get insurance right now, it's going to be like really expensive because I don't got a full license yet and I don't really have a lot of driving history. So I think I looked it up. I think it said I'd be paying $1,000 for car insurance. That's crazy. So, you know, I think once I get a job though, I probably will get a car. Or not even, or once I start making money, like consistent money, like at least $3,000 a month, I'll probably get a car. But yeah, y'all, that's it for this video. Happy New Year's. Hey, we going up 2026.